Hey, and welcome to this, very different replay podcast episode for you. I've never done something like this before, and I'm really excited to share this with you because I always think that, I know you're busy. I know you have a lot going on. I know at the end of a long workday, you probably, like me, don't want to sit in front of a computer for like another hour, especially if you can listen to it on the go or like listen to it while you're walking or cooking or helping your kids. So whatever it is, I hope that this makes it a little bit easier. You'll have to let me know whether or not you like this format or something because I would love to do this for you again in the future, but I only know if it's helpful if you reach out and tell me. So welcome to this replay of my brand new training called How to Legally Protect Your Online Business. 5 simple steps that every entrepreneur must take before it's too late. I'm so excited to be here with you today. So let's get started. So I always say that it's best, at the beginning of a workshop or any sort of training to block out any of the other distractions that you might have going on. So depending on what you're doing, obviously I wanted to design this for you so that you could listen to it if you are a little busy. But if there are any optional distractions, let's just agree to close out of any other apps or put your computer down or whatever. Sometimes I find that like putting in headphones helps me to like focus a little bit more, even if I'm cooking or something like that. So let's get focused because I know you're here and you're ready to learn how to legally protect your business. You're also going to want to listen all the way through because at the end, I'm going to share some bonuses with you that you can only get for listening to this training and only for a limited period of time. So I always practice what I preach in my trainings because, well, first of all, legally I should, but then also because I want to show you in action what it actually looks like to talk about legally protecting yourself or your business, establishing boundaries, scope of practice, all that kind of stuff. So I always start out by sharing with you that although I am an attorney, I don't practice law, right? Meaning I don't provide legal services. Like I don't act as anybody's lawyer if people get sued, or I don't do like custom work for people. I don't give legal advice to you, even if you purchase something from me. I never establish that attorney-client relationship with you. Instead, I sell DIY legal templates and my best-selling Ultimate Bundle program, which you're going to hear about later, as long as that's okay with you after a whole big full training. So just keep that in mind that today's workshop's educational and informational only, but I think you're going to get a lot out of it. So I want to make sure that you showed up to the right workshop. So tell me if this sounds like you. You can just say yes out loud or nod your head if you're somewhere where you can't talk out loud. But you're definitely in the right training for your business if you want to grow an amazing business without wasting time Googling answers to legal questions that are totally freaking you out. You might have tried figuring out the legal, financial, and insurance setup for your business on your own, but now you kind of need a trained professional to hand you a step-by-step plan. Or maybe you wish that you could just get the legal piece taken care of so you could focus on doing the work that you love. If you're new to business, you might feel like you don't know what you don't know about the legal stuff. I hear that all the time. You're definitely not alone. And you might want to make sure that you do it right from the start so you don't accidentally land in legal hot water. Something I hear from my customers all the time is that they are the kind of people who just like to do things right from the start. On the other hand, you might be somebody whose business is growing and you want to make sure that your business is legit before you scale it even more, On the flip side, I am definitely not the right person for you, or this is not a good training for you. If you're looking to, skirt the laws or like get rich quick or something like that, I definitely don't help anybody figure out how to avoid the law. And I'm also not the right person for you if you just want to if you're looking just to hire an attorney to do everything for you or represent you in some way. Because like I said, I don't do that. Last but not least, you're in the wrong place if you're going to get annoyed when I invite you at the end of this very valuable training to learn more about the Ultimate Bundle, to join us inside of the Ultimate Bundle only if it's right for you, and offer you a load of free bonuses to do so. Okay, so in case we don't know each other yet, and I hope you've been a listener of the podcast, but maybe you're new. I'm Vander. It's so nice to meet you. I'm so appreciative that you're here. I am an attorney turned entrepreneur. I was a corporate litigator for over 5 years in Philadelphia, where I was born and raised. And in 2016, I left to start my own health coaching business. I wanted to do something completely different than the law, and I wanted to pivot. Really, honestly, I just wanted to teach people how to cook because I love to cook. That's what I do in all my free time. So I left in 2016 to start that health coaching business, but apparently the universe kind of had other plans for me, because as hard as I was trying to get people to sign up for my health coaching services and like cooking packages and all this kind of stuff, my online phone rang off the hook with questions about legal stuff for online businesses instead. So in early 2017, it feels like a million years ago now, I shut down my health coaching business and I launched Vander Wielen LLC to help you learn how to legally protect your business. So for over now the past 5, almost 6 years, I've helped over 40,000 coaches and service providers learn how to get paid, get legit contracts in place, form their businesses, and protect their content from online copycats. I've been really fortunate to be featured in a lot of online places like Medium and on Luscious Hustle's podcast multiple times, and I spoke at FearlessCon and Nutritious Life and at Well Summit. I've been featured on both the podcast and on the websites for like Wellpreneur and Lifestyle Edit. The list goes on. I've been very fortunate. So when I started my own online business, I had no clue what I was doing in terms of like, probably I would say more of like the marketing online business side of things, right? I Googled everything. I was buried in every single free guide and checklist, right? I wish I could see, like if I asked you to put your hand up right now, if you've done this too, like I wish I could see the sea of hands that would probably also go up, because I feel like everybody has gone through that period in online business where they were buried in free guides and checklists. So I also distinctly remember back in 2016 still Googling what is a landing page. Like I didn't even understand, right? And now I have enough landing pages. If I had $1 for every landing page I have, then I would be, I'd be set. So I remember, right? That stuff was confusing. Maybe the legal stuff wasn't confusing to me, but that certainly was. And I really focused, and I'm still very focused on building my foundation. Even as successful as my business has gotten in the last 5 or 6 years, I am consistently focused on my foundation and strengthening that foundation. So from the start, I decided that I wanted to build a business that was built on a simple, straightforward digital product suite. Right? I didn't have a million different things to offer, a million different programs. I personally didn't offer services and products. I was just doing digital products. I also decided really early on I was going to do that through a consistent marketing system that was primarily based on content that works for me, as I say. So sometimes that's SEO, type content, like I write really SEO optimized blog posts, and I focus more on like keyword stuff and titling and all of this kind of stuff so that people are consistently finding my content who are looking for it already, instead of going to social media. And I always joke that it sometimes feels like you're like screaming into a vacuous void, and like just hoping that someone hears you. Instead, I always like the idea that with SEO, it's like, well, people are looking for something, and then you give them this like right there when they're looking for it. But that also means that I also focus on really like solid cornerstone pieces of content that last, that I can continue to share, that I can rework and break out into other things and other platforms and all of that kind of stuff. So if you've been in my community, you probably see I have a very consistent marketing system, primarily evergreen content. And I did all of that without cold DMs or calls or discounts and launches and all kinds of crazy stuff. I really kept it pretty simple. I've built my multi-7-figure business on a very simple evergreen platform. And the whole time, I could sleep tight knowing that I'd focused on a solid legal and financial foundation for my business too, so that I could focus on doing what I love, which is helping you learn how to legally protect your business. So I have to tell you about a crazy moment that even as a lawyer that I had a few years ago as a kind of midpoint of my entrepreneurial journey. So let me paint the picture for you. I was sitting in WeWork in Philadelphia, and I was on an SEO meeting with my contractor, Melissa, and Melissa was looking at where we were getting traffic from and pings and sites and I don't know, whatever, all this SEO stuff. And so we're going over all of this, and she tells me, you were getting all these like click-throughs from this website, right? And she tells me what it is. And the website name kind of lent itself to like, it sounded to me like it was a business coach. So I was like, oh, okay, cool. Like, let's go see who she is, because I always get referrals very nicely from business coaches and programs and schools and certification programs and all this kind of stuff. So I thought that that's what it was. And I just thought I'll reach out to them and say, thanks. And is there anything I can do to help you? So imagine my surprise when I pop in the URL that Melissa told me about, and up pops my website, essentially, with this person's name and picture swapped out for me. I'm telling you that all of my customer testimonials were there, with every time Sam was written, every time the customer mentioned my name, they swapped out this person's name, including all of my clients' pictures. Like, they even kept the same pictures, all of my products and descriptions of my products, all of my blog posts, all of my everything, all the content of all the pages, every single page was identically copied, including the design. There was even a link and a call to action encouraging people to join my very own Facebook community that I had at the time. Don't worry, I don't have that anymore. It turns out that another lawyer online trying to start up like a legal templates business, stole my entire website. The very juicy, kind of long story about how and why she did this. It was a whole thing, and it's for a cup of coffee that we will hopefully have together one day in person. But you can imagine what happened next. I basically freaked the heck out, right? I was so angry. I felt like invaded and exposed, and I was so mad and sad and just disappointed in this person, like just so many things, right? But then my attorney pants kicked in and I got to work. Within an hour, I had the site taken down. Within a few hours, I had a letter out the door, the attorney on the phone begging me not to sue her, and then the problem resolved, right? Basically, I wanted the thing taken down. I wanted an apology, and I wanted to make sure that the products hadn't been distributed, that kind of stuff. The bigger, it's like a tourniquet. You got to like stop the bleeding, So I know what you might be thinking. You might be thinking, well, yeah, you're an attorney. So like, of course you knew what to do, right? But like, what would I do? And I had already had this business for several years when that had happened to me. But I can tell you honestly that like in that moment, there was definitely like this ignition and this spark. Like, I definitely loved what I did before that. And I loved helping people, and I understood what I was doing and all that kind of stuff. But when that happened, I think it was this like little moment that I needed that gave me this anger of like, if my customer was in this position, or like somebody before they became my customer, right? My ideal customer, if this happened to them, if this happened to you without legal protection, without legal knowledge, without the Esquire after your name knowing what to do, and to have the ability to like intimidate somebody, when you send a what we call a nasty gram to somebody and you have Esquire after your name, it helps, right? And so I thought, like, how dare somebody do this to somebody who's not in that position? How privileged and how lucky I was to know what to do, know how to respond, know what to say, be able to intimidate, right? But I don't ever want anybody to be in that position or anything similar. Or maybe it's like a client doesn't pay you and they stiff you on payment, or a client quits in your contract early, or, so a client starts mimicking or copying you. Like, there are many other scenarios too, right? But I don't ever want you to be in one of those scenarios and be like having all those same feelings, that same anger, the same like invasiveness, all that stuff, and not know what to do. I couldn't imagine having all of those feelings on top of immobilization, right? That is not okay with me. And so I am still extremely, as you can hopefully tell, fired up to tell you like that this is why I do what I do. This is why I help people every single day. This is why I help thousands and thousands of people all over the world every year. This stuff definitely doesn't just happen to me, unfortunately. Here are just some of the scary legal moments that my customers experienced before they got the Ultimate Bundle. Like Annie Miller, for example, she was done with clients pushing boundaries, asking for refunds, and worrying that they were getting inspired by her content, right? And so she got the Ultimate Bundle so she could learn what to do and how to have things shored up. Chloe, on the other hand, had grown her money coaching business really quickly, and then she realized that she wasn't as confident that what she'd built was protected. She knew she built a really good business, but it kind of escalated quickly, and then she wasn't sure that it was protected. Maya, on the other hand, our Ultimate Bundle customer, Maya Nicole, she built an incredible Instagram business this past year or two. And Maya actually shared with us the other day that having the Ultimate Bundle this year helped her to save tens of thousands of dollars in chargeback threats because she was able to successfully rebut them and win and keep the money. Christina watched somebody that she was friendly with online steal parts of her signature course and start selling it as her own. She even tried to say that she couldn't remember where she got the email templates from, which was super interesting. And Christina was able to successfully navigate that. These are all real situations that have not only happened to my customers, colleagues, and friends, but I'm wondering whether this is maybe something that you're worried about happening to you too. I hope it hasn't happened to you already, obviously. Luckily for you, we're going to hop into the 5 steps that I'm going to teach you today that will help you to set the legally legit foundation for your business. We'll learn how to legally protect yourself, your business's money, your sanity, boundaries, and even your future. So here's what you'll learn today. Step number 1, we'll go over the mindset shift that you have to make when it comes to legally protecting your business. I'll give you a little hint. It's where you're going, not where you are right now, that matters. Step number 2, how registering the right kind of business entity and acting like a business online protects your personal assets. We'll go over how registering correctly protects you personally. Step 3 is that we'll talk about what you have to get in place soon so that you don't owe a dime if you did get sued ever. So we're really covering like worst case scenarios so that you have nothing else to worry about. Step 4, we'll talk about what contracts you need and the policies that you need that can totally save your vegan bacon. Step 5, I'll teach you the real key to staying legally protected, which is knowing what you can legally do in your business, otherwise known as scope of practice. I'd love for you to imagine for a moment how your life would change, how your business would change if you knew that your content in your business were legally protected. It would be amazing, I imagine, that you could have the confidence to know that this is taken care of. You know, I shared earlier how I get to do what I love because I know that I have a rock solid foundation. And yes, I know it's convenient for me because I'm a lawyer, so I can do that kind of stuff, right? But I help people do that for their businesses too. And I would be so curious if you took a moment, or if you're taking notes as I'm talking, if you took a moment to think about what would you love to focus on? What could you focus on more if you had this legal piece taken care of? You had your financial foundation taken care of. Sometimes people will share with me that they'll be able to think more about the clients, right? And not have so much anxiety about working with clients. They'll actually be able to sit down and create the course material. They'll be able to like get another certification. Like just think, maybe jot down 1 to 3 things that you would be able to focus on in your business, what you would love to be able to focus on in your business if you knew that you had this piece taken care of. All right, so let's dive in. Step number 1, the mindset shift that you have to make when it comes to legally protecting your business. So first, we have to understand how the U.S. legal system works. And this applies to many other countries outside the U.S., unfortunately, but the U.S. is, especially known as being a pretty litigious place. So here's a little story time, which you will recognize if you watch the reality TV show Married at First Sight, which whenever I'm like really low on content, that's what I go do. So Pastor Cal, who is one of the experts on Married at First Sight. In case you're not familiar, Married at First Sight is this reality show where people get married without ever having met before. And they're paired up by this team of psychologists and like religious experts and all these different people who decide based on a series of interviews and tests and surveys and all this that these people are soulmates, right? So it's very interesting. So Pastor Cal is one of the experts in the show, and the experts throughout the season go and visit the couples, and he goes and visits a couple that has like fallen head over heels fast. Like they were one of the couples that was like, it felt like love at first sight, whereas some of the other couples take weeks and months to warm up to each other if they ever do. But when Pastor Cal goes and visits this couple that's like all over each other and super happy, the husband is still kind of like hedging his bets. And Pastor Cal laid down his best advice for this guy. He was saying that you can't wait to see if this works out to then start sharing your love, your feelings, your emotions, and like then go all in. It's going all in that's going to allow you to fall in love with her truly and deeply, right? And it was just so funny for me, because when I watched that, I thought, that's so similar to what happens in your business, because I think what people do sometimes is that they think, okay, when my business is successful, then I'll bet on it, right? Then I'll believe in myself enough that I will invest in myself. I will do the foundational things. Like I'll legitimize it with legal stuff and financial stuff, or I'll upgrade something, I'll get a website. But that's not how it works, right? We get this stuff, and that's part of what makes it legitimate, and that's part of what helps it to grow. It's not the other way around. So let me ask you this. Do you ever catch yourself doing this? You can just say yes out loud to yourself or not if you're out amongst people. Do you ever find yourself stalking people in your industry who look like they've made it, but yet you don't have the confidence to make it happen for yourself? Or maybe you feel that way? Do you feel like you count yourself out of the room before you've ever even entered it? I feel like I do that all the time. Do you feel like you play it a little safe so that you have an easy out if your business fails? I think a lot of us, if we got honest with ourselves, we do that throughout our business journeys. I still do that, where it's like, well, this is good enough, right? Because it feels scary to go for more. Your thoughts are impacting your actions, right? We have to stop believing that this might not work out and start planning for it to work out. So when it comes to legally protecting your business, we're setting ourselves up for current and future success. We're putting ourselves in the best position possible. In other words, you're future-proofing your business, right? Your focus shouldn't be on where your business is today. Your attention has to go to where you're headed. We're protecting what you're building, not just what you've got now, right? This was like the greatest, I think, shift that I made. It's a absolutely 100% free mindset shift tip, and there's no harm in trying it, in my opinion. When I made the shift personally, I went from being like a good business, a little business that was kind of growing, still small, to being like beyond my wildest dreams, because I stopped acting like the business I was at that moment and started being like, okay, what's my goal? Let me get like really clear on what exactly I want here. And then what would that kind of business be doing? What would the CEO of that business, me, be doing day to day? What would her task be? What would she not be doing? What would she be offloading? What would she not have time for? What would she prioritize? I started asking myself those questions and just started doing that. And it was like all of a sudden the universe just like, well, I shouldn't say all of a sudden, because I don't like to like sugarcoat things and make it sound like all you have to do is like change this mindset and then it happens. It was a lot of hard work, but by doing that and making a series of good decisions and like a lot of hard work and grit and making mistakes and learning from them and reflecting and not giving up, the business grew, right? But I think that changing that mindset was the catalyst for that growth. So if you think about where you're headed, right, you get clear on that vision of where you want to go. What kind of business are you building here, right? That kind of business needs legal protection. In fact, legal protection will get you there, right? There are immediate benefits to getting legal stuff in place. So for one, you're going to look and be professional, which is going to attract good clients, right? You're going to get paid on time, which any growing business needs cash flow. You're going to protect your content, which is your intellectual property. It's really important for any legitimate business. You'll set clear boundaries so that you're not running around and losing your mind, which you're going to need to be able to grow your business. Because if you're spinning your wheels and spending too much time with clients and going above and beyond and offering them things that you didn't ever promise them because you don't want them to feel bad or there was some miscommunication, you're not going to be able to grow your business. You're also going to be able to attract and work with the right clients, the clients who intend to pay you, who intend to show up on time, who really respect you and are going to get a lot out of your work together. And by getting a lot out of your work together, they're going to get a lot of results, which is what's going to, push them to tell their friend Paula about it when they're out to coffee, right? So it's really important. Liz said, our Ultimate Bundle member, Liz Sanfilippo, said, I feel a huge weight lifted off my shoulders knowing that I'm protecting myself and fine-tuning my scope of practice with my online course. I didn't realize how much it was holding me back until now. So many people share such a similar sentiment with me. All right, step number 2, how registering the right business entity protects you personally. So we want to, with registering your business, we want to personally separate you from your business so that if and when something was a problem, only the business's assets are at risk. This legal concept is called personal liability protection. You might have heard of it before. So to register your business, you want to register in the state where you live and work. You do that by choosing first a business entity type to register your business as. So some business entity types are LLCs, a corporation, sole proprietorship, a partnership, etc. And so in your state, they'll have steps for you to file as an LLC or file as a sole proprietor. It's you choose at first what kind of business entity you want to be, and then you file as that. You follow your state's steps. It usually requires 1 or 2 forms, depending on the state. A fee, of course, anything else that they might require as follow-up. And usually as soon as you do so, most states are, online, and they just instantly or very soon thereafter will email you or mail you official documentation. Might be called articles of formation or incorporation. Every state, of course, is different. I wish we could all get on the same page. It would make my life easier. And then, hooray, your business is registered. It's really as simple as that. You go through those steps. These are all, steps I teach really in depth inside the Ultimate Bundle. And so when you're deciding, to go register, really it's that first step I was talking about. That's not the trickiest, but I guess it requires the most decision making. Because in that stage, most people are deciding in our types of businesses with online coaching, service providing businesses, people are deciding, should I register as a sole proprietor, or some states call it a sole proprietorship, or should I register my business as an LLC? So I want to break each of them down so you know the difference and maybe you can decide. So a sole proprietorship is just a type of business entity that a lot of solo entrepreneurs start with. A sole proprietorship can only ever be owned by one person, meaning you can't have business partners. And with a sole proprietorship, I just need you to know that you get 0 personal liability protection, zilch. So the personal liability protection that I defined earlier, which is where you personally are not liable for what happens in your business, you don't get any of that with a sole proprietorship. So what that means is that if your business ever gets sued or it owes a debt to someone or something bad happens in your business, any of your personal assets are fair game because you personally are responsible for whatever happens in the business. This is why LLCs were created, and this is why LLCs are so popular, because LLCs, which LLC stands for Limited Liability Company, is just another kind of business entity. So it's another option, right? It's like either sole proprietor or LLC or partnership or whatever. So it's just another option. And with an LLC, you can own an LLC by yourself, or you can own an LLC with many business partners or one business partner. That option is open to you. But you can also just own an LLC by yourself. When you own an LLC by yourself, it's called a single member LLC. With an LLC, you get what's called limited personal liability protection, which is the most amount of personal liability protection that you can get. There's no absolute personal liability protection, but LLCs do grant their members limited personal liability protection, which means that you are personally separated and insulated from the actions of your LLC as long as you properly act like an LLC, which is something that I teach about a lot, both in my content and in the bundle, and we're going to talk about it right now. So when you have an LLC, everything that you do in your business is between your LLC and your client or the purchaser, the customer. So that would include things like contracts and website policies, your insurance policy, your bank accounts, all of those kinds of things. Because by building a barrier between you personally and your business, right, you maintain that personal liability protection that the LLC entitles you to. So by having your contracts in your business's name, signing on behalf of your business, having your insurance, all of that stuff, we're continuing to build up this brick wall between you as a person and your business, right, that you just own. And that's what we want to continue to work on. It's an everyday thing as a business owner. Having an LLC is not the end of the legal story though, right? So it's not just oh, okay, I got an LLC. Now I don't need to worry about any other legal stuff. You have to continue to act like an LLC. You have to have some of the other pieces in place that we're talking about today. And you have to maintain this personal and business separation carefully and in an organized manner moving forward. So when you have an LLC, for example, your personal money and your business money should not be mixed. They should not be commingled in the same account, or you shouldn't be using the same credit card to charge personal expenses and business expenses. Everything has to be separate. Your contracts have to be in the name of your LLC. You have to sign on behalf of your LLC. You need detailed and clean bookkeeping records. You have to make it clear that you're an LLC when you're doing branding or marketing, that kind of stuff. So hopefully you're seeing so far, we're only 2 steps in. I hope you're seeing so far about how simple it is, how simple it can be to grow a legally legit business. So step number 3 is what you have to get in place ASAP So you don't owe a dime if you get sued, because we want to go over the worst case scenario so that we just remove that as even being an issue. We're even going to talk about how to set up your business money. So in terms of the setup, once we've formed our businesses, like we just talked about, we take those registration documents that we got from the state. We take our EIN number. You register for an EIN number with the IRS, and you go to a bank and you open a business checking and savings account. The business checking and savings account should be in the name of your business or your LLC if you have that. And then you connect that business checking and savings account to a PayPal account or something similar that you're going to use online. Then we go and we get business insurance. So the reason that we go and get business insurance after we've set up our business and we've set up our business bank account is because business insurance financially protects you in a lawsuit by providing you with a lawyer, paying the lawyer's bill, and then paying for any settlement or judgment against your business. So in other words, you're not financially responsible even if you get sued. So if we've set up an LLC properly, it's great that you're not personally liable for anything anymore. That's wonderful. And that's step number one. But then the other issue would be well, I don't want your business to be financially liable for that either, because it's going to be really, really expensive. And any lawsuit would probably bankrupt a business. So that's why we get business insurance, because they step in and provide you with a lawyer and pay the settlement or judgment for anything that's covered by the policy. So what kind of business insurance do you need? There are many different types of business insurance. Which type you need depends on what you do, how you work with people, and how much coverage you want, right? One of the most popular types is professional liability insurance. It's otherwise known as errors and omissions, E&O, that kind of stuff. So errors and omissions insurance, or professional liability, it covers mistakes made in your services and your offers, or alleged mistakes. Keep that in mind. So this is what people have said, I went to Sam and she told me to eat coconut and I got sick because I'm allergic to coconut. Something like that, right? Or I worked out with Sam as my personal trainer and I broke my ankle. Or, well, that's a bad example because that's actually for commercial general liability. But maybe it's that, I gave them some sort of gastrointestinal distress from some diet I recommended, or I recommended some financial plan and it made their savings dwindle down, or I told them to go to get some career and they hated the career and everything in their life went to hell, and so now they blame me, right? So it's basically professional liability covers what people say you did wrong, bad advice that you gave them that made something go wrong, or a tip that impacted them or hurt them or something like that. Another kind of very popular type of business insurance is commercial general liability insurance. Sometimes online entrepreneurs need this, sometimes they don't. Pretty much every online entrepreneur needs professional liability, but with commercial general liability, it depends. Commercial general liability covers bodily injury and property damage to someone else's property, as well as libel and slander. So if you offer workshops, obviously if you teach in person, if you have a physical location, if you do classes sometimes, anything like that, you definitely want to talk to somebody about commercial general liability. There are also there are many, many types of business insurance. There's also cyber liability, social media policies, financial policy, all different kinds of things. You can get an umbrella policy. So it's something to look into. If you're, obviously if you're starting up your business and you've taken these steps, but it's something to look into in order to financially protect your business and by doing so yourself. Step number 4 is about how proper contracts and policies can totally save your vegan bacon. So attorney-prepared contracts and policies prevent the wrong kind of people from working with you in the first place. I know sometimes people are I don't know if I want to send such a serious contract because I don't want to scare anybody off. And I'm first, maybe there's a misconception that, well, at least I can just speak for my contracts personally, my contract templates. They're not scary, not super long. They don't yell at anyone. They don't do anything terrible, right? So that's one. But 2 is that if someone is scared off by a legit contract like that, then at least in my opinion, then I wouldn't want to work with someone like that, because you're not asking them to do anything crazy. You're just asking them to commit to stuff you've already spoken about. So if they're not willing to do that, you have to ask yourself why. Plus, I know one of the things that I love most about having legit contracts, and I know so many of our customers say the same thing, is that contracts set clear boundaries. So you can prevent those awkward conversations, creating rules on the fly, which is exhausting and takes up a lot of time. or not knowing how to navigate a sticky situation. It just cuts all of the decision fatigue, all that background mental noise that we have as business owners. And like, frankly, we have enough to do, I think. The terms of your work together instead are laid out nicely and in an easy to read contract that's specific to what you do, right? So if you coach clients one-on-one, whether you have like a 3, 6, or 9-month program, or you're a practitioner of some sort or a consultant, or you even do like a one-off or a VIP day, you would get a one-to-one client contract for that kind of work. If you run some sort of group program where there's like maybe some regular meetings, even if it has access to some content, you would use a group program contract. If you have something though, like a membership or a course, so something that people can purchase from you when you're sleeping, right? You're not involved in the onboarding process or something like that, then that's what you would use, at least what I call and what I have as a terms of use template, because that's something that you incorporate at checkout and you have people agree to it instead of signing it because they're buying it when you're not around. If you want to offer like an affiliate program, for example, so people can sell your stuff and make a cut for it, you would use an affiliate agreement contract. Now, what about your website, right? You might have heard that you need these website policies. What are they? Where do they go? The 3 website policies that you need to have for any website that you have is the website terms and conditions, a website disclaimer, and a website privacy policy. Those are the 3: the terms and conditions, disclaimer, and privacy policy. Terms and conditions are kind of like the more catch-all policy for your site. It's where we go over like what your intellectual property rights are, that you're asserting them, how people can share your content, some payment stuff, like third-party disclaimer, like all of this stuff. We kind of lump all of this into the terms and conditions. It's something you can use to include at checkout when people are purchasing very simple digital products, like something that's downloadable, an ebook, something like that. You could also use the terms of use contract. It kind of depends on how and where you're selling it, but that some people do use terms and conditions for that. The website disclaimer is very legally very important because that is actually what you use to disclaim liability, saying we are not responsible for things that happen as a result of your use of this website, for reading the content, for working with us. It's really your one shot at trying to tell people, hey, I'm not responsible for what happens here. You got to review this on your own. You have to make the best decision. I can't be responsible for it. I don't know all of the ins and outs of your situation, all of that kind of stuff. And the third website policy, the privacy policy, is the one that's actually legally required. So we don't have a choice as to whether or not we have a legit privacy policy. We have to have one. So with a privacy policy, that's where we tell people, how we collect information from them on our site, why we do it, where we're using it, how we're storing it, how we're keeping it safe, what we'll do if something ever happens with it, like there's a data breach of some sort, who they can contact at your business, if they need to get it removed or changed. All of that kind of stuff has to be addressed, as well as there are GDPR requirements now, the General Data Protection Regulation. There are like CalAPA requirements. There are requirements for your website if people from California can visit it. There are requirements for your website if people from the EU can visit it. It's a wild place out there, but luckily I've got it all covered in my privacy policy template. So contracts are the written proof that you're going to need to collect any skipped or missed payments, to defend yourself if you're accused of doing or not doing something by a client, and also to set clear boundaries with your clients when they ask for something that wasn't promised. You have to make sure, though, that your contracts are enforceable. That's the key, right? So you might be thinking, as I'm saying this, like, well, I've cobbled together something. I have something. I found something online. My friend sent me something. But are those contracts enforceable? That's the key. Copy and pasted contracts usually aren't enforceable, in at least the ones that I've seen, because they're missing key provisions that you'll need to actually enforce them, right? So let's hop into step number 5, our final step here. The real key to staying legally protected, in my opinion, knowing what you can do legally in your business. We're talking about scope of practice. What is scope of practice? Scope of practice is what you can and can't do, teach, talk about, sell, etc., based on how you're qualified, educated, certified, and licensed. Every state has different scope of practice laws because every state has a different definition for a lot of the different practice areas or professions, right? So every state might define, what a doctor or a lawyer can do a little bit differently or something like this, or a nurse or a physical therapist, or if they define personal trainer, nutritionist, RD, something like that, right? So every state's going to be a little bit different. If your state doesn't define what you do exactly, like if there is no definition or scope of practice for what you do, that doesn't mean that you can do whatever you want. So what it does mean is that you have to make sure that you're not doing something that only other professionals or other areas that have been defined by your state can do. So a lot of people will write to me and say, I'm a health coach, I'm a career coach, I'm a money coach, a life coach. None of those things are defined by any state. Right? No state defines what a life coach can do. No state defines what a health coach can do. What states do define, though, is what a therapist can do, which would be kind of what I'd call an umbrella profession to a life coach. What states do define, though, is what a doctor, a nurse, a physical therapist can do. And those are umbrella professions to a health coach, right? So we have to make sure that we don't do something that those umbrella professions can only do, because then we're going to be accused or could be slapped with fines, or our businesses could be shut down, like what happened to someone in Florida, saying that we are operating outside of our scope of practice. What's most important in my world, and what I spend a lot of time teaching customers how to do and all that kind of stuff, is making sure that we're doing what we say and saying what we do and nothing else. So at least my style and the way that I work with people is not about teaching, like I don't teach you how to have the right legal docs in place and have the right contracts, but then go out and do work that you're not allowed to do. What I teach you is how to have the right contracts in place that say what you're allowed to do, and then teach you how to build a successful business doing only what you're allowed to do. Because legal documents will not get you out of legal trouble if you're doing the wrong thing. At the end of the day, consistency is key. It's just going to be a problem if you're doing something out of turn. It won't matter at all. It will not help you at all if you have somebody sign a contract saying they know you're not a lawyer, doctor, financial advisor, therapist, and then you do something that only a therapist, lawyer, financial advisor can do. That's all that's going to matter at the end of the day. So the contract won't help you. That's why we need consistency. We need the contract that helps you, and then we need the behavior that backs that up. All right, so let's review. You have learned so much today, including where to spend your focus, that you should be focused on where you're headed, not where you are now when it comes to legally protecting your business. How registering the right business entity protects your personal assets, and proper contracts and policies can totally save your vegan bacon. We've learned what your website needs to be legally protected, and even like how to figure out what you can legally do and teach, and how to stay within that scope of practice. I know you're here today because you've tried figuring out the legal, financial, and insurance setup for your business on your own, but now you're just looking for a step-by-step plan. I know you wish you could just get that legal piece taken care of so you can focus on doing the work that you love, like I do every single day. And I also know you want to grow an amazing business without wasting any more time Googling answers or tossing and turning at night, thinking about legal questions or concerns that are totally freaking you out. I couldn't be happier to tell you that now is your time, my friend. It's your time to stop hoping that the universe will protect your business just because you have good intentions. I know that you do. It's time to stop the Google and cross my fingers charade for good. It's your time to get legally legit and stop looking over your shoulder, wondering if anybody will notice that you stole somebody else's privacy policy. It's your time to get legally legit with a proven step-by-step system. By the way, this is not just possible for an attorney like me. My customers and members don't have any legal background or fancy skills. They've used my templates and my system that works to legitimize their businesses. And if they can do it, I promise you that you can too. Thousands of coaches and service providers just like you have used my legal templates and trainings to get legally legit and breathe a gigantic sigh of relief. Fueling Financial Freedom on Instagram said, "You're the greatest. The Ultimate Bundle has been the greatest investment in my business thus far." Our Ultimate Bundle member, Karen Norden, said, "I'm only halfway through all the legal stuff from the Ultimate Bundle, and I've already had it save me from a client who I think would have turned into a bad situation. I'm so grateful for you and all that you do." So today I am inviting you to download all of the legal templates and trainings that you'll need inside of the Ultimate Bundle. These templates and trainings are your next step to growing a successful business. This is the exact program and templates that you're going to need to legally legitimize your business, onboard clients safely, hire subcontractors without any worries, get paid on time, and boldly grow the business of your dreams. Let's go over what's inside of the Ultimate Bundle. The Ultimate Bundle includes 10 of my DIY legal templates, which I'll go over. I'll lay all 10 of them out for you, including a video walkthrough for each and every template, which I'll explain in a sec. You also get access to over 35 on-demand video lessons where I cover everything that we've talked about today, including how to form an LLC, what the difference is between a sole prop and an LLC, getting an EIN number, covering your trademarks and copyrights, protecting your content, working safely with clients, getting business insurance, so much. You get lifetime access to the Ultimate Bundle, so you can go inside it as often and for as long as you'd like. You get free updates to the Ultimate Bundle. So as the law and online business changes, I make updates to the trainings, I add trainings, I change the templates, I update the templates. You get all of that for free. That will always be included for you. You also get access to a private member-only community for added support from me, and you even get 2 options for different communities just in case you don't like Facebook. You also get an exclusive discount and free bonuses just from purchasing from listening to this training. So here are the 10 legal templates that you'll get inside the Ultimate Bundle. Number 1, you get that one-to-one client contract for any private work with clients, consulting, coaching, any service providing. 2, you get a group program contract. 3, course contract for your memberships or courses. 4, you get the privacy policy for your website. 5, website disclaimer for your website. 6, terms and conditions for your website. 7, affiliate agreements. You can start an affiliate program. 8, an independent contractor contract for you to send out to people to hire as your own independent contractor, or if you act as an independent contractor for other people sometimes and provide services, you can use it for yourself as well. Number 9, you get the testimonial release to send to your customers. And 10, a mini disclaimer, which is what you put on your freebies and content to protect it. The thing that really sets my legal templates apart is that with every single one of my legal templates, you also get a how-to video tutorial with each and every template to help fill it out in 15 minutes or less. So with every single template, you'll get a video where I walk you through step by step how to fill in the blanks, explaining what the legal language means in English so that you can further customize it and explain it to anybody who asks. And you can access these documents and those videos as many times as you want. You can download them as many times as you need. So let's also break down then what's inside the Ultimate Bundle video training library, those over 35 on-demand video trainings I talked about. I broke them out into 7 modules. So module number 1 is all about the beginning stuff in forming your business, like how to form an LLC, what to do after you get an LLC, LLCs versus sole props, EIN numbers, and local registration requirements. Module number 2 is all about money and business insurance. So I teach you about business insurance and how to get it, business bank accounts and how to set those up, and how to take payments from clients. Module number 3, I teach you all about websites and social media. So I teach you about how your website policies and how to best use them. I break down the GDPR and how you need to comply with it. If your website or your email list is accessible by anyone who is located within the EU, you are legally required to comply with the GDPR. So I teach you how to do that very easily. I also teach you how to have legally protected website copy so that you don't say anything by accident on your website that could get you in trouble, and also how to legally build an email list. In module number 4, I teach you all about contracts. So I teach you how to send and sign contracts properly so that they're actually enforceable, how to set up an onboarding system for your clients, how to read contracts that you have to sign so that you don't sign anything that gets you into trouble, and how to work with minors if you can. Module number 5 is all about working with clients legally. So I have a section broke down to like how different ways that you work with clients, and then go over the legal issues that might come up and how you can navigate them. So I have a section on one-to-one clients, group programs, courses and memberships, and all of the scenarios that could come up in each one. I even teach you in this module number 5 what to do if a client doesn't pay, and the scope of practice for coaches. I go deep into scope of practice. In module number 6, I teach you all about copyrights and trademarks. So I teach you how to copyright content and what that looks like and what it's an alternative way to do that to protect your content. And then I go over trademarks and what falls under the trademark category, when you should start thinking about it, and basics on how you go about that process. Module number 7 is my most recent. That's all about scaling and growing. So in module 7, I'm teaching you about how to hire independent contractors and what the difference is between hiring contractors and employees. I teach you about S corps and becoming an S corp. It's really just a taxation status, so I go into that. And I also teach you how to run an affiliate program legally. It's very important that you do that legally. People can get themselves into trouble. So after getting the Ultimate Bundle, you'll be able to quickly and easily complete your contracts and website policies on the fly. You'll be able to confidently create and promote new products and services, knowing you're protected. You can hire and scale without fear, and you can breathe easy, knowing you've got legal help in your business's corner. And now, what you've all been waiting for in my best Oprah voice, bonuses. I'm so excited for you because these bonuses are only available until Friday, October 20th only. You only have until the end of the day, Friday, October 20th at 12 midnight Eastern, in order to take advantage of what I think are the best bonuses I've offered so far this year. So let's go over what every single one are if you join the Ultimate Bundle by Friday. Bonus number 1, if you get the Ultimate Bundle by Friday at midnight, you can get $400 off the pay in full price, which makes the bundle $19.99. The other really cool thing is that by buying the bundle this week, you can also get access to a 12 payment plan that allows you to make 12 monthly payments of $197 for the Ultimate Bundle. I don't offer this outside of promos, so this is really great time to take advantage. Just keep in mind, all 12 of those payments are required. It's not an optional subscription or anything like that. It's just allowing you to pay over time. You can only take advantage of that payment plan until October 20th at midnight Eastern. Okay, bonus number 2, you get 3 free additional legal templates. So I will drop 3 more templates on top of the 10 you already have inside of your portal, including a non-disclosure agreement to keep all your juiciest business information top secret whenever you have meetings with people or you take on a new contractor or you collaborate with someone. It's super important that you use an NDA. The second legal template you'll get is a podcast guest contract. That's if you have a podcast, want to start a podcast, you'll be able to send that to guests. And a collaboration contract, which is awesome if you ever want to offer some sort of training, a workshop, a program, or an offer with another business owner, but you're not going into business together. It's essential you have a collaboration contract to protect yourself. Okay, the third bonus I think is the coolest bonus of all of the bonuses if I could put my opinion in there. The third bonus is that you'll get a live Q&A call with my friend Keela from Little Fish Accounting. Keela is a CPA. She's amazing. We held a session with her last year. It was everybody's favorite thing. Keela can answer all your financial questions, taxes, business deductions, all kinds of stuff. It's going to be a live call in November. It'll be recorded, so you'll have access forever, but also if you can't make it live, no problem. You can also submit your questions. And then, like I said, you'll get that live replay as well. And I will be on the call with Keela. So obviously, as an attorney, I can help you as much as possible too with anything related to money. Okay. Bonus number 4, I'm also offering you something I've only done once before. I'm offering a live Q&A call for Ultimate Bundle members only with me. So no one else will be able to attend this. Nobody else will be able to purchase this or anything like that. If you buy the Ultimate Bundle by this Friday, October 20th only, you will get to come to a live legal Q&A call with me. Obviously, you can come. Last time, the one time I did do this, we had hundreds of people attend and ask questions, and a lot of people ask legal questions. A lot of people ask marketing questions. So I will take any of it. You know me, I'm happy to help. This call will take place before the end of the year so that you can start your 2024 off with all your legal questions answered and a solid legal foundation. And then, yes, you will get access to that replay as well. Bonus number 5, you'll also get the Run Your Affiliate Program, the Legally Legit Way training. It's a short, actionable training where I teach you exactly how to set up and run a profitable but legally protected affiliate program. So your affiliates know how to get paid, what counts as a sale, and then you are protected in the process. Bonus 6, you'll get my legal entity checklist so you can self-assess which option is best for you, like an LLC, a sole proprietorship, a partnership, even an S Corp. I cover it all in the checklist so you can determine what's best for you. Last but definitely not least, actually second to last, is bonus number 7. You'll also get my How to Get Clients on Instagram masterclass recording. That was a video workshop I taught where I taught you how to get more clients on Instagram without any hey girl DMs or purchasing followers or anything weird like that. I taught you what kind of content to post, how to write content that gets your ideal clients to actually take action to work with you, and how to get your followers to go to raving clients. Okay, now actually last but not least, bonus number 8, you would also get access to how to build a diverse and inclusive business workshop. It's a recording of a training that Latice Hudson did for my Ultimate Bundle members, where she taught us how to craft a DEI statement, a diversity and inclusion statement, how to attract a diverse clientele, and how to make sure that your brand is inclusive. All right, so you can join the Ultimate Bundle right now by using the link below in the show notes, or you can always head to my website, samvanderwielen.com. You'll see a button right at the top of my website for you to join the Ultimate Bundle and snag all of these juicy bonuses by October 20th at midnight. So, are you ready to protect and grow this business that you're working so hard to build? I know this can sound like a lot, but if you went to your attorney to draft up all these legal templates for you and spent hours and hours talking over all this stuff that I teach you inside the bundle with them, you'd easily be looking at like 10, 15, 20 grand. And that's probably on the cheap side. So there is so much value here. There are thousands and thousands of dollars worth of bonuses. I want to make sure you get access to that discount. Plus, you get all of these live bonuses because I won't be offering those again, obviously, once they go away. So with that, click the link in the show notes. You can use the link down below or click the button on my website at samvanderwielen.com to join now. Once you join the bundle, you'll be welcomed inside. You'll see all of your legal templates and trainings there right away, being begged to be filled out. You can get a contract filled out in 15 minutes or less. And you can start today for just $197 if you join before October 20th at midnight. I hope you join the bundle. I would love to see you inside, and I would love to help you make sure that you start off 2024 with a solid legal foundation. I know that you can grow a stable and strong business once you've got the legal foundation that the Ultimate Bundle will provide you. And so I want you to get in there and just knock this stuff out. I'm here for you. I'm here to help. Thanks so much for listening, and I can't wait to see you inside the Ultimate Bundle before this Friday. Thanks so much for listening to the On Your Terms podcast. Make sure to follow on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you like to listen to podcasts. You can also check out all of our podcast episodes, show notes, links, and more at samvanderwielen.com/podcast. You can learn more about legally protecting your business and take my free legal workshop, 5 Steps to Legally Protect and Grow Your Online Business at samvanderwielen.com. And to stay connected and follow along, follow me on Instagram at samvanderwielen and send me a DM to say hi. Just remember that although I am an attorney, I am not your attorney, and I am not offering you legal advice in today's episode. This episode and all of my episodes are informational and educational only. It is not a substitute for seeking out your own advice from your own lawyer. And please keep in mind that I can't offer you legal advice. I don't ever offer any legal services, but I think I offer some pretty good information.